So, yeah, this is the podcast. All right, welcome to the Practical Pistol Show. My name's Ben Steger. I'm here to answer your shooting questions. Joining me today, as always, is producer Candice.
Hey, hey.
We have a very special in a lot of ways, but a very special guest, Timmy Meyers.
Howdy.
Howdy. Tim is joining us live from Austin, Texas, the home of awesome food. And what else is there?
No grocery bags.
No grocery bags. You're still bent about that. You might be wondering, who is Tim Meyers, and why do I give a shit what he thinks? In addition to being like last place GM at matches he attends, Tim runs the pro shop and sells gear and knows a lot about gear. So Tim makes for an interesting guest. Today we are going to be talking about the SHOT Show. So let's get started. Candice, what's on tap?
Well, let's see. Well, you want to start with the big news or lead up to the fun stuff? Like, the Grand Power is to me the big. The Excalibur is the big thing.
The Excalibur is the big thing to talk about at SHOT. All right. Well, why don't we just talk about SHOT generally? Because this was my first time, Tim's first time.
That's right.
Yeah, we popped our SHOT cherries together, which was nice.
That's not homo.
No homo. Just like Tim and our
you guys
bros.
did bunk together, though.
No, we did bunk together. Tim made me get a $2,600 suite.
Show me a good time, man.
No, that number's wildly exaggerated. Walking around SHOT, it was what I always thought it would be. Kind of, in my time shooting, people talk about SHOT a lot, and I thought it would be a lot of booths and a lot of people and a lot of products that I'm not particularly interested in.
Yeah, right? I could agree with all that.
Yeah, like AR stuff, just everywhere.
Well, the way I think about it is like, no matter what you're into, like no matter what stuff you care about, if you like ARs, that's fine. But you walk around and you only care about the AR stuff, and then all the other stuff. Then you're like, well, there's a bunch of stuff here that I don't care about because there's so much stuff there. Like 90% of it you just blow right by, and you don't care about it at all. So that's pretty much exactly what SHOT was. So there's no surprises there.
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty easy to overlook stuff because there is so much and there's so many booths that you just wind up kind of blowing by a lot of the smaller booths that actually could potentially have interesting products too.
Wasn't it 4 stories, like 4 levels in that convention center?
I guess. I mean, we really only went to 1 or 2.
We never went to 3 or 4, did we?
No, but I think that may be more classroom stuff up there.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because we didn't go up there.
No.
You weren't invited up there.
Dude, I don't think I was invited at all.
Oh.
Man. All right. So SHOT is, it's a bunch of stuff that most of it you're not going to give a shit about. And it's, I don't know, like, if you don't have business to do there, like we actually had some meetings and people to talk to for pro shop related stuff. If you don't have business, I don't know why you'd spend more than a day there.
Well, I think if you're into gear in general, if you're just one of those guys, I get it. I mean, there's a lot of interesting products there. But
we just talked about how there's mostly not interesting products.
No. If you're into gear, though. Like, if you're a gun guy who just likes to jack with every random gun out there, it could be really cool.
But most gun people. We already covered that, I think.
There's a lot of gun people.
But it's a lot of the same stuff you've already seen, right?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of new stuff.
No.
All right. So moving on, the thing that I'm feeling strongly that Candice wants to talk about the Grand Power. We did talk about the Grand Power in a recent episode, and I think it's fair to say that I sort of am ambivalent about it. I don't really care about the gun. Like, for me, I don't care, and Candice was shitting all over it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
All right, so, Tim, we've looked at the Grand Power. You and we had a nice talk with Candice's friend that she met online who was hard selling the Grand Power. We actually met that guy in person, Candice.
Yeah.
He's not my friend, but we haven't met, but I'm sure we'd be friends because everybody likes me and I like everyone.
I'm not sure you'd be friends.
I don't know about that.
He's a nice guy, but he's an intense dude.
He's pretty intense.
And he told me I have to stop using the word retarded on the show because that offends him. He also told me, he did tell me that. But okay,
Good word.
Let's talk, good word.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to stop, but I mean, I was just pointing out that he finds it offensive. All right, so anyway, we looked at this gun, Tim. What did you think?
It's interesting. It's a little bit lighter than I thought it would be. It's probably a good half-pound lighter than a Shadow or Stock 2, but the trigger's pretty nice. I mean, if that's actually an out-of-the-box gun, it's a pretty nice trigger. I think it could be interesting. I mean, it's obviously got to get on the USPSA production list.
No, it is. That's taken care of.
Well, it's not as of today, but
It's not
Did
on
you
the
look
list.
on the website? Because we know doesn't count.
No, I know that a visit was made by the USPSA decision makers to the booth, and the gun is approved.
Yeah.
So if it's not on the list now, it will be shortly.
So it's
Heck is
interesting.
clearing.
Yeah, I think the price point is probably the only issue I see because it's coming in at $1,000 retail. Street's not going to be that high, but it's still not. I don't know. It's at that weird price point, in my opinion, where it's going to be competing with a Shadow and a Stock 2. And is it better? I don't know about that. I've never shot it. You've shot it, Ben, so you know better than I do.
It's definitely not better.
Yeah, but if it's available, that's an advantage, right?
Yeah, being available is cool. I mean, we talked about this earlier. My take on it, like with a gun like that, there's basically like kind of two camps that people are going to fall into when they make their purchasing decisions. They're going to buy the cheapest stuff that works on some level. So like a Glock 34, right? Like that's pretty cheap, and it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people who want the best thing or the thing they like the best, and they don't really care about cost. And those people are kind of gravitating towards AccuShadows, Stock 2s, that sort of thing. So where does the gram power really fall in there? It's like most people aren't going to feel like it's like in the middle, right? So who's it for?
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, think about this. If a Stock 2's $1,600, and this thing streets at $900, I mean, there's something to be said for that, right?
Yeah, but would you buy one?
I don't know. I mean, I've never shot it. I don't know. It seems interesting. I don't know. I think that if there's aftermarket support comes up.
Well, that was another. We did have that conversation.
Yeah.
So there's a. I think pretty shortly Blade Tech will have a holster out for it, and I think the aftermarket support will kind of be there. Like our base pads are going to fit on it.
Correct.
Yeah,
The
because
ones
they're
that we
CZ
have.
mags, right?
Yeah, so our stuff's going to fit it. So it has the base pads. The sights, I think the sights kind of suck nuts on it.
It's
Yeah,
got
that
like a
could be fixed.
revolver rear sight, right? It's a rear
Yeah,
sight like a revolver.
I didn't like the sights. I mean, they weren't heinous. They weren't like Glock sights, but they weren't good. Like I didn't like the sights a whole lot. So, whatever. It could be interesting for the right person.
It could be. We'll see. We'll see how many actually hit the market. I mean, it could turn into another Stock 2 issue where they're only bringing in 30 or 40, every few months, and there's just not enough supply, and then it just becomes, not very relevant, I suppose.
You know what I really don't like, Tim?
What's that?
I was hoping that Candice would react very negatively.
Oh, she's not
To
taking the
what?
bait.
She's not taking the bait on any of this.
Well, we already kind of talked about it. This gun's stupid.
there we go. Now we got some. I got a reaction.
Sorry.
I don't know if I
I'm
say
like,
that, Candice.
I'm like, it's half a pound. It's half a pound lighter, so it's not going to shoot as good. It's not going to have as good a trigger, probably. And
Well-
it doesn't have a big gaping magwell like a Stock 2. It doesn't have aggressive checkering like a Stock 2. I mean, what's the point?
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Save your pennies.
I can buy one. I can find one.
That's true.
It's cheaper.
Look harder.
So here's a question, Candice.
I can be devil's advocate all I want, and I still end up agreeing with Candice.
But if they were looking for a lady shooter in the U.S., Candice, would you shoot it as a sponsored lady shooter?
Define sponsored.
I don't know.
You get
Free
a
guns
Snickers,
and matches.
free guns, matches, and Snicker bars.
Free matches? Yeah, I'd shoot it.
So maybe it's not that bad.
How about just the guns and the Snicker bars?
No.
It's a lot. It's all you can eat Snickers.
No. No, I don't think sponsorship is just like, oh, you can hold this gun. Yay. Sorry.
All right.
Anyway.
So let's move on to our shooting question for the day.
All right. So so a guy says, I'm working out of the skills and drills in your dry fire book. With 300 rounds and one range session, is it more effective to practice one or two drills a lot, or practice several drills a minimum number of reps? I feel I like to cram too many drills into a range session. Ammo goes fast on just a couple of multi-round drills like a Bill drill, Ilpraz, or Blake drill. Where should I draw the line between working hard enough and becoming a worker bee? Do most of the improvements actually come from dry fire, and the live fire is mostly to prove out the dry fire?
All right. First, I'm glad you're working out of skills and drills in the dry fire book, because those books are there for you, man. If you're like trying to get better and get on a schedule, like that stuff is for you. The general thrust of the question, I'm going to say, you're going to work. I really believe in kind of focusing the practice sessions on stuff. So like 2 or 3 drills. That's what I like. I mean, that's about the magic number for about 300 rounds. And I realize that it burns up your ammo fast, and you may feel like you're sort of not practicing a lot of things, but the stuff that you do practice on that day, I feel like you should practice it really well.
So do those drills like include a little like mini stage, or is it just like we're going to do accelerator and then we're going to do, I don't know, something else?
Well, it's like whatever you set up. So if you don't work out of that book, if you set up accelerator, so there's a target at 7 yards, a target at 15 yards, a target at 25 yards, and you're going to just, it's a simple like standard exercise type drill. So if I go out there and shoot accelerator, I would probably, in his situation, if I do 15 reps on it, that's going to be more than half of my 300 rounds. More than half gone. And then I would probably do maybe 1 or 2 other things. So maybe I'll shoot accelerator, and I'll be like, I don't like how I'm shooting that 25-yard target. So then I might do 10 or 12 reps of 25-yard bill drills, right? And then that leaves enough ammo left over that I can staple up a sheet of dots on the targets that I just shot up and do 36 rounds on the dot drill, right? So that would be a practice session that makes sense on some level. So I'm not repositioning any stuff. So you put out the targets one time, and then you don't fuck around with it anymore. You don't have to move anything around. I mean, I'm a big fan of that. So it'd be super efficient, it'd go fast, and it'd be productive. Okay, just as an example. So that's more how I model my practice sessions, rather than, setting up multiple things or sort of doing unfocused style drills. I don't like that stuff so much.
So doing like a little stage you set up, not so good?
Well, if you're doing scenario practice, then I wouldn't set up a little mini stage or scenario and shoot it once. I'm going to shoot it a bunch of times and shoot it different ways and experiment on it, and then maybe not even get to anything else. It might be 300 rounds on just that.
All right. And what do you think about his second part of that question? Do most of your improvements come in dry fire, and the live fire is mostly just to validate what you did in dry fire?
Well, I don't know where most of the improvement comes from. My feeling is that would be from dry fire, because you're going to do, if you do the standard model of practice that most people in the U.S. that I deal with, people generally accept that you dry fire on a regular basis at home and sort of like occasionally go to the range and practice. So if that sounds like you, most of your actual improvement is coming from the dry fire part. That's my feeling. What do you think, Tim? You're a Grandmaster. How'd you do it, man? Grandmaster Tim.
Yes, is the answer. I agree with that. But for real, just regular dry fire and a little bit of live fire, once a week or so. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say it's not that hard, but it's not that hard to hit GM.
Damn.
Sorry, Candice. It's just.
Hey.
You're on your way.
Yeah, 5-gun master and IDPA, that's pretty good for a girl, right?
I agree. It's a start.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
So if you're wondering when we're going to talk more about SHOT, if you just didn't get enough of the Grand Power stuff, we are going to, in the next episode, we will do the speed round rundown of SHOT Show. But for now, I want to address a couple of listener comments posted to the YouTube channel. Episode 1, the one we did about how slowing down is shitty advice. Comment, you make some good points about slowing down. Funny, I was telling my girlfriend last night to slow down and focus on a smooth, controlled trigger pull. She was having problems with the plate rack. I know she was pulling the gun low. I tried to assist with the trigger pull aspect, but was still telling her to slow down, which did not fix anything, no matter how slow she went. Yeah, I could think that's exactly what we said. After watching this, I thought what to do. What I actually do when I slow down, I pay a lot of attention to the sights and a perfect trigger pull to get an accurate shot. Great show. I look forward to learning a lot more. Blah, blah, blah. A bunch of keep up the good work. So, yay, we got a good comment, a positive comment. But we got to balance this out. Comment posted to the second episode. So is Candice a chick or a dude? I can't quite tell. With that low nasally voice and style of speaking.
That's cold.
Kind of reminds me of Bert on Sesame Street. That's kind of fucked up, dude. I mean, I'll say this.
He's got the hots for Bird, is what I think. Alright.
It doesn't matter if Candice is a chick or a dude, because Candice has feelings, man. Right?
Yeah.
Candice has feelings.
Yeah, I have feelings. I got
Man.
feelers.
These guys shit all over you on the YouTube channel. Damn.
Oh, well.
All right, well, next episode, look forward to us talking more about SHOT Show because it's super interesting to some people, and we will finish up that discussion. So, if you have any other questions, head over to benstegger.com. I'd love to answer them for you. If you want to buy stuff from Tim, go to bensteggerproshop.com, and if you want to shit on Candice, head over to the YouTube channel. Sound good?
Sounds awesome, man.
That's cold,
All right.
man.